Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, Scotty's Hobbies. The last video I made, I've got a truck that I'm building and one that I bought that's stock. I said I was going to leave the one stock, the CR18P Evo Pro, but I broke a drive shaft right after I made that video. So it is stock, other than I had to change the front drive shaft. I put a steel one in there. Still have the plastic one in the back. We'll kind of see how that one goes. Then we're going to talk about my IR60 that I'm building. That's what we talked about to compete against that temporarily. This one built to that one stock. So I was trying to decide on a power plant, and I have finally decided. And I got the Fat Viper by Injora. Fat Viper by Injora. It's purple. I really like the color. I got the transmission from Injora as well. It's a metal transmission, metal gears, black. The kit came with your ESC. This is what controls your motor, your new brushless motor. It plugs right into here. And then you have this to plug into your receiver on your truck. And then you got this for your battery. They sent you a couple adapters so you can adapt it to whichever battery that you are using. And then you also get this chip to program from your laptop. You get those things. You also get the carbon fiber plate, dust plate, and mount with this mount right here. So what happens is this motor, this is a standard size SCX24 brushed motor. This is a upgraded Injora brush motor, okay? And this one comes with the plate because it won't mount where this one would without the plate. And then this one would mount on this transmission right here. Okay, that's where it would normally mount. But this is a little bitty motor, and compared to this one, which we can't mount there. So what happens is this transmission comes apart right here. You move this plate. You got the gear inside. You get this package with your Injora Fat Viper. This is your spur gear that goes on your motor, and this gear goes in your transmission. Now the reason why they give you that is because the teeth on this gear, they're a lot bigger or less fine, however you want to say it, than this one, if we can get it in focus. Okay, maybe we can. So this one you can see has got real fine teeth on it. This one's got real big teeth on it. So what we'll do is we'll put this big gear, spur gear on the motor, put this on the transmission, and then this plate right here will go on the transmission. And what that will do is it will raise the motor kind of up above the transmission. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video here. I'm going to show you a few things I've been doing to the truck though. So this is the IR60 I'm building. This is the Mofo Ugly AF chassis. The Minius Racing aluminum axles, 52-degree steer, Mofo RC brass Gladiator links, Injora brass skid plate, and then I got some. We used to call these revolvers, but they're calling these. I can't remember, but anyway, what they do is they allow your shock to drop down to give you more flex. So allows you to get more flex. So these are just ones that you normally see. These are off of Amazon. They're not name brand. The problem is I'm using the AF frame, and you cannot use the mounts that come with it. But I got lucky because you can screw this right into the frame, and then use a couple rubber bands just to keep them pulled forward, or it's actually just one rubber band if you can see it, that purple one. So what happens is if you're going up a hill like this, if you stretch a suspension all the way out, the rubber bands will pull it still back forward. And then we got the same thing on the front. So those, if you can see how they go up and down, gives you a little more travel for your shocks. Okay. All right, so, and it wasn't a big deal to put those on. They screwed right on. Now this build is in the mock-up. I still got to take everything apart and Loctite everything. But until I get the transmission mounted in there and everything done, drive shafts still haven't come in, and I'm also waiting on the servo. So on these front shackle deals that drop down, I didn't have to do anything to that. I didn't have to put no rubber bands or anything or nothing like that on there. But on the rear, I had to put the rubber. I didn't have to, but if you're going vertical on a hill and you unload the suspension, those will get locked in place. So I just put them rubber bands just to pull them back in place. So I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to get the transmission put together, get the motor on it, and then I might even go ahead and get it in the truck, and then we'll pick the video back up. Okay, guys, and girls, if they are. I took off this plate that came with the motor, the transmission, and I took off this fine tooth gear. This is what the transmission looks like now. It's got this carbon fiber dust plate on it. It's got this bell housing for the motor. I've got this spur gear mounted on the motor. And what you have to know is this spur gear has a Allen screw that goes in it. And there's a flat side on that motor. You'll make sure you get on that flat side and screw it down. You can get it pretty tight. So then this will go into here. You'll set your gap on your gear, tighten that up, and then it'll be ready to go in the truck. I'm going to pause the video again. Okay, everybody, I've got the motor mounted to the bell housing. Bell houses the transmission. This is the end result of that. This is the bell housing all right here. This is where the new motor mounts. The transmission will go in the truck setting up like this. This is the very bottom of the transmission, which dips down into that skid plate. And I'll put a little bit of grease on all this stuff, and then I'm going to pop it in the truck. I don't have my drive shafts in yet, but I can put those in after the fact. But I'll get it put in the truck so we can kind of see what it's going to look like sitting in there. Okay, guys, guys and girls, I got the motor and transmission mounted into the frame. So I'm going to show you what that looks like and kind of how much room it takes up. It's not too bad. The motor's facing backwards, which I kind of would rather it be facing forward, but it wasn't an option on this one. Move that wire out of the way. So here's the motor. This is the back of the vehicle. That's how it fits in there. Still plenty of room up front for my battery and everything in there. So that's what it's going to look like. It's turned out really, really nice. Anyway, still got a few more items coming in. When I get everything in, I'm going to mount my electronics inside the machine. And then I've got a few batteries that I can run it on here, but I'll probably order some. But anyway, once I get it built, I'm going to tear it apart and put everything in Loctite. I recommend everybody do that. Get you a medium duty Loctite and put that in there. So you're not having to replace screws when you're out trying to have a good time with it. But so far, everything's turned out really well. I'm not sure about the tires and wheels, if I'm going to keep those or go something a little bit bigger. But we're going to try these out first and see how they do. The body fits on there nice, even with the motor in there like that. So there's plenty of room. I did accidentally break the hinge on the body, so I don't have a hinge for this one. I didn't break the hinge. I broke a screw off in the hinge, and I've emailed Injora, and I just asked them I need to order that part, but they're not they're not coming back with that. They want my order number and all this stuff, and they're wanting me to send the truck back and, you know, this kind of stuff. I just need to buy a part. This truck already came and didn't have all the roll bar pieces in it. So they're having to send me the roll bar for the back. That's why my truck doesn't have these two vertical, you know, reinforcements on it, because they gave me two rights. I didn't have a right and a left. So when those come in, I'll put those in. I'll cut the bed cover out so that they can fit in there, because I just think it look nicer if it's in there. But anyway, guys, man, we're not too far from getting this thing built out. I don't know if we talked about this, but this is the electronic speed controller for the motor, the ESC. The kit comes with that Injora kit, and this plugs into your receiver. This is your on and off button that you can mount somewhere, turn on and off, and then you have this plug for plugging up your battery, and you got some adapters. Okay, that's gonna be it for this video, and then hopefully before too long we'll get this thing on the rocks. Y'all have a good night.